I just noticed, are we wearing the same shoes? I think we're wearing the same shoes. I'm pretty sure I saw us wearing the same shoes. Did you get them at Nordstrom too?
Yes, Nordstrom.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Oh my God,
That's
maybe
right.
we're wearing the same shoes.
That's where I always go. I love it. All right, well, welcome back to another episode of the 805 Live podcast, where we are pulling back the curtain on all things real estate, the truths and myths of real estate here in the 805 and beyond. I'm Sergio Gonzalez, and I'm here with my co-host, Courtney Allen.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Yeah.
We are here.
All right, so let's do this.
Today, we are talking about what causes the market to fluctuate.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a lot that can happen with that.
Yeah. Well, I think in the, over the every decade, I guess you should say, there seems to be a big event, economic event, right?
Right.
In the 80s, it was a savings and loans crash. 2000s, it was, around a 9/11. And then after that, it was the mortgage, crunch and crash. And so it's going to be interesting to see what is going to be the cause of the next, big thing.
Especially during COVID.
Yeah, whatever COVID, I think
Right.
people were still thinking like that was going to be it. Clearly, that was not it.
True.
So here we are in, the biggest uptick in real estate. I think demand now is like at a 40-year low. It's the lowest. It's been the lowest inventory in 40 years. So that's everyone. It's worse than I think when the toilet paper was
Oh my God.
flying off the shelves. I think they're calling it the Hunger Games of real estate right now, basically.
Really?
Yeah, it's that crazy.
That's so interesting. Why do you think?
Well, a couple of reasons. Number one, the inventory, right? Number two, the interest rates. And number three, the dynamics of work-home life, right? People that were going to the office no longer have to go to the office. They can work from home. And they're realizing that the employers are also realizing, hey, maybe we should not be renewing that lease because our employees are working more effectively from home. And communication is just as easy now. Just hop on a Zoom. And so I think people are really able to I never could move out to the suburbs or really live where you wanted to live because you were tied to the office or the commute time and, just the proximity, right? People didn't want to have to drive. So now that obstacle seems to have been kind of removed, you got a massive shift of people that were living in the city for that reason. They're like, oh, I'd love to live in a more quiet, more spacious, type of environment for my family or just wherever, right? And get the work done. So I think that was part of it as well, coming out of the recent situation. Secondly, I think the people that this is all related to inventory. So the second part of that, people that were normally thinking of selling because they're downsizing a lot, right? So the kids that were supposed to have gone to universities were not going to universities because they were shut down or they're limited. And some were like, well, if I'm paying all this money to go to college, but I'm at home doing Zooms. So why am I going to do that?
Right.
So you had these people that were thinking, hey, I'm just going to have to wait now, until the kids, really get out. And then lastly, the people that were really older, they're like, hey, I need to get my vaccine. I don't want people coming in my house.
Yeah.
I don't want to go to other people's house. And so you had a lot of these people saying, I'm on hold until that happens. And so it was I think those are the top reasons I think personally why we're experiencing the market that we are.
That's super interesting. But it's kind of thriving for you though, because now, you can literally live wherever you want now because of working from home, you want
Right.
a bigger house.
Right.
Obviously, you want more space. So
Yep.
for you, I feel like
Well, I mean, look, the reality is like, yes, the market is on fire. I mean,
Right.
we have currently more realtors licensed than there are homes available in the United States right now, right? And so if you're an agent right now and you're not killing it, there's something wrong, right? I mean, especially like if you're working on the buyers aspect of it, right? Like everybody's trying, there's more buyers than sellers. So if you're an agent trying to work with, buyers, it's tough because, that listing agent is going to kind of hold the gold. So you either really want to work really hard on becoming that listing agent to get those listings, and then have basically an entire sales force of people that are working with the buyers, bringing those to the table. So
interesting. Did you have a time when, oh gosh, I mean, I'm probably like way too young to even like know when the market was really down, but did you have a time in your company that things just weren't selling and you didn't know what to do, and like there were like big changes going on
Right.
and you just had to strategize?
Right. Well, this would be my second cycle. So cycles, they usually go anywhere between 10 and 12 years.
Okay.
Right. I think as the industry is changing, evolving with just lending and economy and the whole global economy, like it's really changed.
Right.
So I think that the cycles are getting a little bit longer. So this is my second cycle. The first cycle, the major one was the 2008, 2009 crash, right?
Okay.
Like that's the first cycle. I made it through that cycle. Here we are now going into a second cycle. So in the first cycle, I was still doing loans, navigating through those waters as a lender, as a banker, and pivoting in a way that allowed me to excel during that time. So I definitely think that agents, whether you're an agent or a lender, you definitely have to be able to recognize what's happening quickly and be able to make adjustments in your business so that you can take advantage of what's happening.
Could you give any recommendations on
Well,
strategies?
yeah, I mean, like I think for us, at SG Associates specifically, we had to change the way that we were meeting with buyers because we were typically meeting with buyers in open houses.
Right.
Can't do open houses. So our buyer pool was just like depleting, right? Along with the listings, because there was little listings, and then we weren't meeting the buyers. We're like, okay, what are we going to do in order to kind of get back in the game of what's happening? So we had to sign up with some lead generating sources that were attracting buyers through either Google pay-per-click and some of the other companies that we use, like Ylopo, which is a lead generation platform. So you have all these different lead sources, lead generating companies that you can register with, and you pay them a monthly fee to generate those leads to you. And then we had to then scale that, right? So we're making sure that we have the systems and the processes as those leads are coming in. What does that conversation look like? Because you have a pyramid, like a pyramid funnel, right? Upside down pyramid. So it looks like a funnel.
Oh my,
right?
wow. I've never thought of it like that.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So you have this upside down pyramid, or the buyer funnel, and then you have top of the funnel leads. So those are like very early stages of where they're at in the home buying process. I'm thinking about it. It'd be kind of nice if we were able to move to Westlake or, Santa Barbara. I've always wanted to live in Westlake or, Ventura. But maybe next year, maybe after I get a raise, maybe after we get married, it's always like a distant kind of goal, right? So the conversation is very different at that level than it is someone who is what we consider bottom of the funnel that you would meet at an open house, or that is calling on the sales sign, the for sale sign, right? Somebody who's ready to see a property. So leads that are coming in from, they were coming in from Zillow or Realtor.com or some of these other bottom of the funnel type of sources. And they're clicking on a specific property, wanting more details on a specific property that they're ready to make an appointment for.
Right.
Oops. So they are, they're ready to make an appointment that day.
Right.
So the conversation with them is, hey, I saw that you were inquiring about 123 Main Street. Are you available to see that today or tomorrow at 4? Versus the top of the funnel is like, hey, Courtney, it seems like you've been casually looking at some of the listings out here in Westlake. You know, just curious what's no longer working in your home that's got you looking.
That's very different.
It's very different,
Yeah.
right? And then you have middle of the funnel, right? So those are what we consider like the Google search, because they're searching now specifically for specific things. So 4-bedroom homes in Westlake, you know, homes with views in Santa Barbara, right? So now they're getting a little bit more focused on what they're looking for. And so that conversation also is slightly different. So as a team, we had to level up our skills on who we were talking to based on that journey. And then how are we going to, those are coming in at, you know, 10 of those, 15 of those a day. How many can we handle? Right. And then segmenting them where they are in their journey. So that's when we then brought on a inside client concierge is what we call her, to kind of nurture those people down the funnel until they're ready.
It's like a secret weapon.
Yeah.
Interesting. Well, I mean, but that's why, like, you figured out, even though oh gosh, who knows? There's so much going on right now, but your company is figuring out, like, yeah, it's fluctuating, it's rising and falling, but you're still selling houses, you're still killing it. There's a reason why.
Yeah, and I think it's, you know, it's systems, processes, and people, and I think that applies to really any business, right? But I think sometimes people don't lay that foundation, right? And then they're not ready for when it comes, and then they'll say, well, this doesn't work.
Right.
Well, it's because you didn't have the systems in place, right? Like, where are those people funneling into? What happens when they get there? You know, that's part of the process, right? So what happens when they get there? What happens when they're this type of person, or this type of person, meaning stage of where they're at in that process. Oh, I'm looking in a year. Oh, I'm looking in 3 months. Oh, I'm looking in 6 months. Like, I don't treat those people the same.
Right.
And communicate with them in the same. So what does that process look like? And then people, like, who on your team or who in your business is in charge of making sure that those processes are being executed. So I think doing that in that order, I think, is really key when you're going to be activating a new lead source, you know, in any business, you know.
That should be on a board, like, for every real estate company, like all the different phases that you should be doing. Actually, that could be another topic. That could be another episode topic.
Totally.
Yeah. That's a good way to end it.
Awesome. I love it. All right.
That's the end of the episode. We hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Like and subscribe, share to us, ring that bell, click that button. I love saying that.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Ring that bell.
Ring that bell and find us on all social media platforms.
Totally.
And I feel like, am I missing anything else?
No, I think we got it.
Sweet. Have a good one. We'll see you
ya.
next time.
Bye.